welcome to LOA Today. I'm Walt Thiessen here with Rita Giganti and Linda Armstrong. Today is Friday. Happy Friday, August the 14th, 2020. It's 4 p.m. New York time. Wherever you are in the world, thanks for joining us for another episode of LOA Today, your daily dose of happy. And I'm happy that Linda's happy and Rita's happy. Linda especially. She was actually texting out, I'm having this great high vibe day. I hope you are too. And Linda, I'm about to add to your vibe because you donated to the LOA Today app a course in high vibe living. And I just wanted to let you know it has now been added to the app. And the app is, as soon as Apple and Google do their approvals, it will be rolling out to our users. So you're already there. How about that?
That's great. That's awesome. It's all about living high vibe, man. We want to move into this next dimension. You got to be in that love.
This is true. Right. This is true. By the way, it was great getting that text from you today because, I mean, it's just like a pick-me-up. Okay, yeah, here comes the show. It's all good. Look how Linda's high about this. This is great. I love it.
Excellent. Fantastic. She was basking in her backyard over there with the
with my portal peeps.
With your portal. Yeah.
Doing a little portal sunbathing today?
I call them the wise ones of the wisdom portal.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Rita, I hope you've got your psychic cap on because we got a whole bunch of questions for you this week.
You got it on.
You got it on? All right, there you go. So you better get yourself ready because, I mean, people have come up with some pretty, all over the place questions. So you got to be ready for anything here.
Okay.
You ready? All right.
Sure.
Here we go. So the first one's from Andrea. This is not going to surprise you at all because it's about clutter.
Oh, my goodness.
Apparently, this is a big deal. A lot of people are dealing with clutter issues. So,
it is. People are having time now on their hands and they're realizing there's a lot of clutter where before, when you're running around doing things, you don't even pay attention.
But you know what? I think it's even deeper than that because it's like the clutter of what we're holding within our field, right, Rita? And so that's just a symbolism of all the clutter in your space that you can physically see with your eyes. But and that's allowing this stuff to come up to release as well. Goes even deeper.
Absolutely.
That's good though, because as stuff comes up, that's an opportunity to embrace it and do what it takes to move past it. So that's a good thing.
You realize when you start decluttering, you're even decluttering people from your life. It's like crazy. But it's just the way it goes. But go ahead. What's the question?
Okay, so anyway, she says, my clutter and my weight issues seem to be connected. I get to a certain weight and then stay stuck. I have more weight to lose and I want to let go of stuff, but I stay stuck. I have more stuff to let go of. So any insights and suggestions?
Yeah, for her, it's twofold. The clutter is just a sidebar of what's happening. It's actually emotional. It's something emotional that has to be let go of. And also she has to do a liver cleanse, it feels like to me. I feel like the liver is overloaded and not allowing the body to kind of reset itself to lose the weight. So it's twofold. It's emotional and it's also she's in need of a cleanse. And then she will definitely be able to release even the clutter in the house. But the clutter in the house is like the last of it. It's just like a symptom of it. The real piece is the emotional piece of it. And it's something very old that needs to, I should say this, it's not just one thing, but I should say that the beginning of it is old. I want to say back in her 20s. I don't know how old she is.
Sure.
So that's what it sounds like to me. Hold on. Let me just ask. I just want to see if there's anything else that they want to. No, they said that's it. That's what we're dealing with. So she needs to address the emotional piece.
That makes sense too, because so often stuff like this does have emotional stuff that ties back to our past, and we have to kind of root it up.
The other thing is that she's self-sabotaging herself. So she gets to a certain point and then she doesn't think she deserves to go any further. So she actually has created a cycle where she knows where she needs to stop and then she doesn't move any, because if she does do it, that means a lot of things change for her. People look at her differently. People will notice her. All kinds of things will happen. So that's what I mean by the emotional piece. It has to be addressed, and then the rest of the weight will come flying off. No problem.
I would add to that too, that the weight, it's sort of like a protection, because I've worked with a lot of people who had issues with weight, and really what it is to keep certain attentions or whatever that is away from them, so that they don't, because they're afraid to shine bright and be who they really are. So that's like, I would say a block to work on. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
When you guys were describing what each of you said there, the word that kept coming to me was self-confidence. Like self-confidence needs to be built up here.
There's a great meditation on healthjourneys.com for it actually says self-confidence. And they also have, after the meditation, which is about 25 minutes long, they have affirmations that you can listen to. So that might be helpful.
Okay, good. All right. Well, moving right along, our next question comes from our own Alyx King. Now, she's got basically 4 questions in one, but it's all part of the same thing. So I'll just read all 4 of them to you. She says, am I with the right doctors? Are the doctors on the right track? Will my surgery solve the problem? And what is causing the pain?
Oh, for God's sakes, just tell me what it is so I can look at it. Okay. Hang on. Wow, this is also emotional. I would really have to talk to her, but this is an emotional attachment in the body. Do you know anything about it, Walt?
I do, but I don't feel like I'm in a place where I can say anything. She should be
No.
the one.
I mean, do you know if I said to you, is it from the neck? Is the area from, I want to say, her chest down to her stomach where the pain is?
To the best of my knowledge, not really, no.
Okay. I'm not feeling surgery right now, to be honest with you. I'm just not feeling it. I think if she hasn't gone for a second opinion, she needs to go. And there's something emotional attached to it. So let's see if she writes something else, because that's all I'm getting on that.
And most of these questions are actually questions that people have sent in rather than coming from the live stream. So I'm not sure if Alyx is actually tuned into the live stream today, but if she is, I'll keep an eye out for that. And Alyx already knows, but I want to point out to everybody else, you can actually reach out to Rita through the LOA Today app. Just go to the host page and there's a way you can reach out directly to her. So if you need to have a direct conversation, that's the way to go about doing it. Plus, with the new version that I just put out that includes Linda's video series, there's also a change to the Ask a Question page. So now any co-host can be asked a question. You can say, okay, the question is for this person. You just click the radio button and it sends the question to that particular person. So that's another way to reach out directly, because I also have it set up so that the question both goes to me and to that person. So that person can actually get a direct email on it. So a couple ways to reach out.
Well, you are amazing.
I'm trying to make this app as easy to use as possible. Oh, you're going to love this too, Linda. I think a lot of listeners are going to like this. In fact, this was inspired by a listener who wrote in because she was having trouble finding the link to one of the ebooks. She didn't realize you have to click that little link in the top corner. So I've changed the link in the top corner with a little arrow that says goodies next to it. So all people have to do is look for goodies and they can find all the ebooks and the courses and the audiobooks and all that kind of stuff all in one place. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, so let's see. The next question comes from Denise. Now, Denise says, my partner passed away a few years ago, and I am wondering if I will have a boyfriend or husband in the future. It's been pretty lonely since he's been gone.
Yeah, so I'm seeing this red flower. I don't know names of flowers. It's not a rose, but I'm seeing this red flower that he brings her. And he's actually bringing her the next partner. So she needs to speak to him at night before she goes to bed. And she needs to talk to him about this, so that he was waiting for her to be ready. Her heart wasn't fully ready, so he's actually waiting for her. So he needs to she needs to tell him that she's ready, and that he wants to bring that next person into her. As a matter of fact, I can feel it in her energy already. So it's closer than she thinks.
This is her partner who passed away.
Yes. Yes. And he brings her a red flower, but it's not a rose. Because I know what a rose is, but I don't know what some of these flowers are.
If it's my wife, she could probably tell you, but we'll have to just go with the red flower for the moment. How does she connect with her husband or her late partner to get this information?
Oh, well, she just has to at night, just close her eyes and see him in her mind's eye, like right, right in that area, just a picture, or she could look at a picture of him, capture him and then close her eyes. I find it easier to connect to spirit when I close my eyes. It's like tuning into a radio, like I just can tune in better when I'm not looking at everything else around me. So sometimes you'll see me close my eyes when I'm listening. So she just needs to close her eyes and begin the conversation as if like we're talking out loud. Okay. And then she will feel him come in.
Okay.
Yeah. She hasn't been ready. That's what it is.
And Linda, you're definitely the energy expert. Anything that you would add that beyond what Rita said about how to connect?
No, I feel like what Rita said is it.
That's it. Okay. All right, good. Well, see, we're moving right along here. This is pretty quick. Now, the next one comes from Daniel and Ashley, and it's actually written by Daniel. Daniel says, my question is open-ended. Is there anything we need to know from the other side? Anything anyone wants us to know? He says, I've been working on finding my passion, and my wife has been struggling with health issues. Thank you, and loves the show, and keep up the good work.
Okay. Okay. So, a couple of things. The wife has some health issues that they're telling me can be addressed and fixed. But her mind is kind of working overtime and against her because of fear, anxiety around it. There needs to be an adjustment in her thought process. They have a lot of help from the other side. It's not what they need to do is it's like when you know how when you ask for something and then you worry about it and then it doesn't manifest because you're worried about it. They're learning how to not ask anymore. It's like commanding the universe to give them what they need and then expecting it, not having expectations of how it comes, but expecting that it's coming and it will just come. And so they're learning that together on this path. So there's something around music with him. And he, this is going to sound strange, but he already knows his passion. He's just not directing his energy towards it. They're telling me. So, and there's something music is around him. There's something about music that connects to him. So he's questioning pretty much everything and he doesn't need to. Like he's questioning too much of himself and he doesn't need to.
Almost the kind of questioning that would happen when you feel like whatever you ask for isn't going to show up.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And it will. The right doctors, the right treatment, the right job, the right career, it's all going to show up. They're just not, all right. Yeah, that's good. Sorry. They have to change the frequency to get it to move. They're just at a standstill. That's all it is.
Okay. One thing that I
You
can,
know the train that says, I think I can,
yeah, sure.
right?
The
What is
little
that?
engine that could.
The little engine that could? Well, he has to start saying, I know I can.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's the difference between asking and then knowing it's coming. I know I can.
When you're describing that and talking about the lack of belief, certainly something I think most of us have dealt with at one time or another. It makes me think about the ebook that Dan added to the LOA Today app. It's called The Money Game, but he just uses money as a way to teach building belief.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking maybe Daniel and Ashley might want to check out the Money Game ebook. We just started a little challenge. A bunch of us are going to start doing the step by step in it together, and it's basically a way that Daniel designed, a beautiful way that he designed to use money, attracting money as a way of building belief. You just attract one little bit and then a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit
I'm
more,
in.
micro
I'm
shift.
in. I'm
Yeah.
buying the book. I'm in.
Well, you don't have to. It's on the LOA Today app. It's free.
And that's it. I'm in.
So there you go. You already bought it. Congratulations, you're an owner.
See, I manifested it just like that.
How about that? So quick. But yeah, check that out and join us on. We're doing this challenge there's a bunch of us who are going to try to work through all 15 steps that he has outlined, and we're doing that because people. You know how it is with these courses. People tend to take a few steps and then, for whatever reason, they have an excuse to not continue or whatever. And we're committing to. We're going to do all 15 steps no matter what, just to work through all 15 and see what we get at the end. So,
awesome.
Yeah. Okay, next question comes from Chuck. Now, Chuck's written in a few times. He's the one who actually recommended Amy Blackford, who does the Monday show with Louie and I. But Chuck says, I've never been in a long-term relationship. Does Spirit see this happening in my life soon? Is there something I'm holding on to that's not allowing this area of my life to be fully realized? Or does Spirit see me being single for the majority of this lifetime?
So it's interesting because his contract, Spirit says, well, he didn't come in with that one way or the other. It's not, in other words, he kind of likes being single in the sense that he has his freedom. He likes his freedom. So he has to decide how much of his freedom he wants to keep and how much he's willing to relinquish, because they have no problem bringing in a long-term relationship, but it's going to change the dynamic of his life and who he is.
Yeah.
So, there's, I can see people's energies and say, definitely married, kids, long-term, right? Then I see people's energies and I go, yeah, they're not sure. Maybe not. Maybe they just want to live with somebody. It's not really set in stone. This person likes their freedom. So he has to decide, does he want long term, and how much of himself he is willing to, give up, because that's gonna happen. You have to compromise.
Yeah, it's not so much compromise. It's more like you have to make space for somebody else in your life.
That's it. Yeah, and when someone's so used to having their own space, that's not easy.
Right. Oh yeah, it's a transition.
Right. But yes, that could happen within the next 6 months if he allows it.
Okay.
And who's to say that he can't attract someone who likes their freedom just as much as he does?
Absolutely.
They can co-create in that way together. And maybe that's something he wants to put out to the universe. How can I meet someone who values their freedom as much as I do, where we can actually form this beautiful relationship together?
Yeah. I mean, couples that go away by themselves, like, or with friends or something, and they do the whole girl thing, or guy, whatever it is, girl guy thing. And then they come back together again. It really is that's the beauty of having free will, right?
Yes.
It's just whatever goes.
You know what I want to add too? Like, as we're moving into this whole other dimensional way of living, the old rules don't apply anymore. So It's like, just like start from scratch. What is it that you want? You put that out there, because it's only other people's voices that make you think that you can't have the freedom and have the relationship.
And it's funny because when people call in and ask questions like this, I think to myself, oh, Spirit gave us free will. That means we get to decide if we want a relationship or we don't, for how long, and don't. Like, You know what I'm saying? Like they think
Mhm.
that spirit's going to tell them, wait a second, on October 15th, the girl is coming. Or the guy is coming. And that means you need to stay with them for the next 20 years.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
it doesn't work that way. I want to tell people all the time, we have, like, this is the beauty of it. You have free will. I can see 3 people already in his energy
Mm,
that would come in. 3 people already I could see.
yeah. Mhm.
So he has to just, they're out there. He just has to make a couple of decisions for himself.
Right. Because you have to decide. I don't remember what movie it was, but there was a movie at one point. The one of the lead characters says, "Well, at some point, you have to decide if you're going to have a relationship,"
Yeah.
and that's
And then
it.
it shows up, not asking spirit, you think I'm going to have a relationship?
Yeah,
Spirit,
right.
I don't know. Are you?
You know what, too? Let's not forget that we are the creator of our own
That's right.
reality.
That was really the whole, thank you, Linda. You summed it up perfectly. That was the whole thing around free will, because it cracks me up. And I had to learn that too, because I was in a relationship that I thought spirit said, I thought it was like spirit says, no, you got to stay here and you got to learn, even if you're being hurt, it's okay. Yeah. And then I realized, I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Right. And so after that relationship, I realized, okay, that'll never happen again. Thinking that because spirit told me it was coming, it was this, it was that, it came. I thought because spirit told me it was coming, it meant I had to stay no matter what.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
just learning.
Mhm.
Like everything else, it's just an experience.
Right. That's really surrendering your will. I mean, you've mentioned that a few times. We have that free will. Well, there's no point in surrendering your will.
No, surrender is different than what people think it is. It truly is. When you surrender to a higher power, you're really in alignment with it.
Mm,
You come out of the worry mode and you just align your energy with it, and you've surrendered to that higher power so that you can get whatever you need from it. It's
yes.
not you're giving your power to spirit and saying, here, take it and do whatever you want.
Right, right, right.
Right? Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just want to be clear. I'm all
But
roughed up. What happened here?
by the way, Jeffrey jumped in from the live stream. He said, "Heck yes, I'm not Chuck, but I can relate." So you're reading for more than one person here.
Okay, good.
It's always that way.
This is
Yeah.
true. Okay, well, the next one comes from a friend of Linda's named Steven. And the question
Okay.
is, will he be able to get back into a good relationship with his brother Jay and the rest of his family?
Mm. So here's the thing that Stephen has to understand. There's 3 sides to this: his, theirs, and then spirits. Like spirit sees it from the whole different angle. Okay,
Mhm.
so there's hurt feelings on all ends. So it's really up to, like, here's, like, spirit says, Stephen, put yourself in their shoes, see it from their perspective for a minute. Okay, then step back, send love, and then if you feel like you can, reach out. Okay, because do I see that there can be amends? Yes, but all parties have to be a part of that.
Hmm.
See what I'm saying? So he can only do his part. Now, if he does his part and they don't respond to that, that's a whole different ball game, because you can't make somebody respond to that. All he could do is put it out there and see if they, kind of like planting the seeds, and see if it comes to, fruition.
Mhm.
Can I see it happening? Yes, I can. They all have to be, oh, I lost Walt's thing here. They all have to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Amicable in doing it. He has to just continue working on himself, loving himself, coming from his higher self when it comes to all of this. His
Mhm.
brother can be a little stubborn, but so can he, Spirit says. And they're laughing out loud, because there's nothing wrong with that. It's just who we are.
That's actually a good thing to know, because first of all, you're probably not telling him anything that he doesn't already know. That's one of those things that's kind of there, it's part of the relationship already. So you're
Yeah.
kind of reinforcing just by telling them.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
yes, of course, I can see it happening. I just, someone has, I don't know who the last person was that made the move, but it doesn't really matter, you know? And here's the other piece. I just want to be clear, because I have siblings that I don't speak to. That doesn't mean I don't love them. And that doesn't mean I don't pray for them or wish them well. It just means it's better for me not to have the connection at this moment. See, that's a decision I made, free will, for myself. So that's
Right.
another thing he needs to think about for himself. Does it work? Does he feel like he wants to have them in his life, that it's good for him to have them in his life? That, he's got to look at that piece of it too. I'm sorry, Linda, you wanted to say something.
No, I was just going to say, and you can change your mind on that at any time. So I happen to know him, and all of what you said totally resonates, and it'll be nice for him to hear it from you.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. He's a nice man. He really is got a nice energy about him. He sometimes can get too into his mind, but he's got I feel his like a gentleness to him,
You know what? Can I ask one more question for him?
Sure.
He and another guy just finished this whole animated show.
Yeah.
That they're going to pitch to like different. They're just now getting it out there. What do you feel about this show? Like, will it be picked up, or does it take him somewhere further with the animation world?
Do you have the name for it?
No, I don't recall it.
That's okay. All right, hang on a second. Let me just listen. This is just the beginning, Spirit says. This is really just, he's very, very, wow. He's so creative, this man. Yes, this can be picked up for sure. He's got to have the belief, though. Like, he's got to stop with that. Yeah, I don't know, if it's good enough, if this, if that. I don't know where I'm going to meet these people in this pandemic. I don't know how it's going to be. Pop, poop. Like, he's doing a number on himself.
Yeah, and but we're working on that, so that's cool.
Okay. So once that ends, all of a sudden people line up for him. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's another candidate for Dan's Money Game book. Great way to just start shifting that belief pattern, that old belief pattern that says, well, I'm not sure. Is this going to work? How's it going to work? But change that whole conversation around.
Right.
All right. Well, then let's move on to Donna June. She says, how can I quit smoking? Can a good hypnotist really help me quit smoking? Because I've tried everything else several times. Thank you very much.
Okay. 2 questions. Does Donna really want to stop smoking?
Mm-hmm.
And if she does, what then does she have to deal with? Because there's something about the cigarette that stops her from dealing with a bigger thing. Okay, that's 2 things, right? Mm-hmm. Now, Spirit says, yes, she can stop. Yes, hypnotherapy can help her. Mm-hmm. 100%. She has to go. I don't know where she lives. Does she live? Do you know where she lives?
I do not know.
Okay. If she lives in New York, tell her to reach out to me. I can send her to somebody. If she doesn't, then she just has to find somebody reputable, and that should do the trick. But we got to here's the other piece of it now. So, is his name Brian Weiss that does the lives between lives and all that?
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Need somebody to regress her to before she began smoking, to find the trigger so that she could clear it. So there's 2 things that hypnotherapist is going to do. Clear it, clear the actual why she started, and then help it to stop altogether.
All right. Our next questioner is Jen. This is rather long, so you'll have to bear with me to read this through, and I'll read it slowly so that you can keep up with me. If you need to stop me, just stop me in the middle and I can go back to where you need to. She says, I've manifested some major positive life changes in the past 18 months. So what do you see for me as far as love and marriage finding me? I'm focused on believing and feeling it and having no resistance. I'm a single mom, and my 18-year-old Jenna has just moved to college. She's an awesome young lady who has felt the successes of overcoming situations instead of letting them control her, including 3 major health issues. So what do you see for her in this next stage in her life? And then she says, thank you for shining your light and love through the show. I've been listening for about a year now and used to have a 4-hour daily drive before my move. Your show allowed me to use that time to create some major quality of life improvements and the manifestation of some very lofty goals. I love the addition of Rita to this team. Keep on spreading your light. So pretty cool message from Jen and a couple questions.
Okay, so Jen said she overcame some physical stuff, you said?
Her daughter overcame 3 major health issues, and she has been working on herself and is wondering what's happening in terms of love and marriage finding her.
Okay. So she's really, her soul is ready. There's something about somebody in uniform. I don't know I don't know if it's a policeman. I don't know if it's somebody connected to the arm. Like, I'm just seeing a uniform. Okay. So there is somebody coming for her. She's meeting this person through someone else, it feels like to me. Like someone she knows. He's not in the life yet. Okay. But I feel like she meets him through somebody she knows. There's like, it's like 6 degrees of separation. Okay. And then so I'm feeling she loves like, she's not one to go around to like different men. You know what I mean? Like dating different men. She likes the one-on-one connection. And that's what Spirit's going to bring her. Okay. And this one will be a keeper. This one will be a keeper. But I feel like it's coming through someone. Not like, in other words, I don't feel like an online dating thing.
Right.
Yeah. Doesn't feel like
a friend introducing a friend or something like that.
Yeah, somehow it comes full circle and, she gets to, yeah. And he's also been through some stuff, this man, and he has children. And, the beautiful part about it is they're both in a place of, we're done with the shit. Like we've lived enough to be done with the shit. We're ready to like be just solid. You know what I mean? The drama. We're done with the drama. The shit people go through in their 20s and 30s, and then in their 40s, they finally learn, all right, this is enough.
It's like you're describing 2 people who are kind of on a similar growth path.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yes. Similar growth path. She's ready. She's, it's perfect now. Her daughter, is going where it just moved. The whole thing is kind of set in motion already.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully that's helpful to Jen. And we have a question from Amy. She says, love all of you.
One second.
Oh, go ahead.
One second. I don't know what the letter J means, but there's a J connected to it.
This is for Jen? The previous one?
Another letter J, though, is connected.
So she's got Jen and Jenna, and there's going to be another J.
Yeah.
Family of J's.
What that means. Go ahead.
That's fine. So Amy says, love all of you. I'm learning things late in life. So glad that I found you. Rita, I'm learning so much. I've been working on myself a lot in the last few years. I love my husband, but he doesn't get any of this. Sometimes I feel like he's holding me back, but that is about me, I realize. Will I be able to keep growing stronger and gain more insight and still be with him as I grow? Because he's not ready or accepting of these insights. Thank you.
Yes, she will be. See, someone turned the switch on for her, and that's it. It's a done deal now. So it's not like when you become aware, right? When you have awareness, it's not like you can be unaware again. Okay. And her husband, it's not that he doesn't get it. He doesn't want to get it. There's a difference because he listens, he hears, see this, see that, but he's too afraid of it. He's got some fear around it. So yes, she will be able to keep growing. This is sometimes what happens. Okay. 1 or 2 things is going to happen. She's going to outgrow him because sometimes people just can't stay when they're that much at a different vibration.
Sure.
So she may have to release herself. But other times, the person who they live with allows them to do the growing, and they just don't go there.
Mm-hmm.
And they can still love each other, but they respect where each other is, and that's how it goes. Either way is fine, but one of those two things is what's going to be in the end, because she's not going to stop her growth.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, she's loving it.
Mm-hmm.
She gets so much out of it, and she needs to connect to more people that are in it, that she feels comfortable with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Well, this is always the kind of challenge that happens in a relationship, and particularly one like this one. I'm reminded of what I think they played it out in the movie The Secret. They were describing relationships, and they played a little scene with a husband and wife who were fighting, and basically demonstrating a couple that's not getting along. And then the wife decides to start holding the husband in her mind in a different way, thinking about him positively instead of thinking about all the things she doesn't like about him. And the next scene is the two of them reconciling and reconnecting, just because she put him into a high vibe energy.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't mean that it's guaranteed to play out that way, but the point is, if you do put him into that energy, you give him the chance. Without putting him into that place, you're not even giving him the chance to change.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's okay. He has the choice. If you put him in that light, he has the choice to either pull it in or push it out.
One or the other.
That's going to happen.
Yeah. There's not really a whole lot of options there. It's one or the other.
Right. See,
I would add to that as you change your own vibration, because you can't make anybody change, but you can be an influence. So as you're holding that higher vibe, his soul can choose to absorb it and allow things to change as well, to where then he decides to make the change. Because I know I've seen it with people I didn't think would change, but just by me changing, they've totally changed. So
right. Beautiful.
Well, our last two questions were long. This one's really short. This is from Carla, and she says, "Should I go on my summer vacation? I'm having doubts."
Where is she going?
I don't know.
I want to go too.
say yes.
Let me just listen for a sec, Walt. I'm hearing she could go. I'm not hearing not to go. I think her own fear would hold her back. And my concern is that fear will create something that doesn't need to be there. So I don't feel anything negative around it. And Linda's agreeing with me.
Yeah, I got a total big yes. Because the other thing too is, I think another part of all that's going on with this whole awakening is we got to just start following our joy. The only thing maybe that might be telling her not to go is all that fear that's out there. Well, screw freaking fear. We call our own shots here, and we can choose to go into the fear or follow the joy. I mean, it seemed like that vacation would really lift you up and raise your vibration.
She just has to
cope with all this other stuff. Yeah.
Right. She has to go without the fear attached to it so that she could have a good time.
Yeah, or more precisely, she has to go with the intention of feeling the joy. She has to actually go with the intention of enjoying herself. I mean, if you go with the intention of feeling miserable, you're going to feel miserable even if you're on vacation. There's just no two ways about that.
Exactly. Don't waste the money.
All right. Well, hopefully that helps Carla. As short as that one was, the next one's even shorter. This is from Kenneth. He says, "Will I get my unemployment back?"
Tell him he has to keep fighting for that, because I feel like it's owed to him.
Oh.
It's owed to him. I feel like he needs to keep fighting for that. Yeah, definitely. It's just all screwy right now. But a friend of mine just got it retroactive from the first, thing. So you just got to keep pushing. But yeah, I'm feeling that's what he needs to do.
The way he phrased it is interesting. Will I get my unemployment back? It suggests
Yeah.
that he had it and lost it.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I feel like he needs to push it again.
Mm.
Keep going.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then we've got another one from Alyx, and then two more from our live stream. Alyx is asking two questions, actually. She says, will my financial situation improve in the near future? And will the Grass is Greener podcast be worth continuing? We've been kind of having that on hiatus for a while.
I feel like that stays on hiatus because whatever she's coming into next is going to take up more of her time and where her money is coming from. So I don't know, yeah, the money improves within the next 3 months, it feels like to me.
Okay. And to remind you, she's the one who last week, I don't remember the exact details. I'm trying to draw them up in my mind. But you mentioned that she was going to be doing something related to music, I think it was. And she thought, well, or does it have something to do with the voiceover work she's doing? And you said, no, it's not that.
No, I know what you're saying now. Thank you for reminding me because I don't ever remember once I'm done
Right.
with reading. They just drag it out of me. So, no, I feel like it's something else connected to her.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that she does the voiceovers, though. I think that's fabulous.
But she's perfect for it, too.
And I don't think she should change that, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then next we have Jeffrey. He says, can you tell me how the energy work that I have done, will it evolve into the future?
Okay. Does he mean what he's accomplished already, how it's evolving into the future? Or does he mean...
Jeffrey, you're going to have to give me more details because that's all I've got right now.
Maybe he means how does he take that into getting out in the world and helping other people? He's learned a lot and did a lot of healing for himself, is what I'm feeling. And then I think he wants to share that with the world. But I'm not certain. That's what I feel.
Mm. Okay. Well, let's give Jeffrey a chance to give us some more details. In the meantime, I'll ask a question from Nasha. She asked, first, is there anything for me? And then she says, will I ever get a true lover in my life, and will it be happily ever after?
I love it. Okay. There's some stuff she's working on still, on an emotional level. And that has to, in order for it to be what she's looking for, there is some things on an emotional level that she needs to work through in order to find the person that balances her and the one that she can do the long haul with. That's exactly from spirit, like that was exactly what came through. That was almost a download. Mm-hmm. So she knows what it is. She has to do the work. And then here's the thing. She can manifest somebody right now. But if she hasn't figured out how to deal with that emotional piece, it won't be long term. Mm. She'll learn from it and then it'll be done. Mm-hmm. And then the next person will show up. So a lot of people are in the process, because of the pandemic, which is a great thing, are in the process of figuring out their shit. There's stuff from the past, things that have to be released, things that, so that they can make room for the new. Well, she's no different. She's doing it. Now she needs to decide how far she wants to go. And it's not like the lessons ever end. I hate to break it to everyone. The lessons are always there. It's how we choose to deal with them. Okay. So this is not something that she can't handle. This is something she can absolutely handle and figure out. And then, yes, she can have a long-standing relationship.
Nasha says, you're so spot on.
Oh.
Yeah. And Jeffrey gave us some more information. He says, yes, and thank you, Linda. I have also done work for others, but the pandemic changed how it was happening. How will the external work for others evolve?
Is he saying what you're saying, Linda?
It sounds like it.
As I'm still not.
How will it, I think he wants to know how will it evolve where he's able to do this more for people other than himself.
Is he a healer?
I believe
he does some kind of a healing art, and I can't remember what it is.
I believe he would like to be more involved in that. Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
I mean,
He actually has clients, and I don't remember
Jeffrey,
precisely what he
let
does
us
for them.
know, Jeffrey.
It's all
I
right.
don't want to
No.
speak. I really don't want to speak for him because I could be picking up on the wrong thing. I'd like to hear from him.
Okay, hold on. Let me just listen. It's better I just listen. Okay. Spirit would like for him to come at it at a few different angles. One is writing about it. The next is connecting to others online to do. So it's if you're sitting like in a meditation class, although I don't know why a Buddhist is in front of me, saying a Buddhist. So somehow the Buddhist is connected to him. And the Buddha is saying, learn the ways of compassion. Teach the ways of compassion. Teach it in the written form. Teach it in like with your voice. Teach it in the ethers, meaning connecting to others to create that around the world. These are the ways now. We have to learn a different way to communicate with each other. Teach it in telepathy, the Buddha says. You have no idea how powerful you are. You need to try, because listen, Jeffrey, Walt, there's Linda, there's like a million modalities out there, right? You have to pick what resonates, Jeffrey, and then utilize it to the best of your ability. But don't put like, see, there's people that's, will say to me, I'm not at your level. No, I don't want to hear that. Absolutely not. It's not about being at a level. Everybody is where they need to be. Jeffrey, you're at a fabulous level, whatever that is. There are no levels as far as I'm concerned. There's just, where are you at in this moment? How are you experiencing this moment? And where's your vibration at this moment? Because you can be the teacher and the student in a half a second, it changes, right? Okay. So sometimes he's going to be a really great teacher when it comes to this. Sometimes he's going to listen and be the student. Take that and then be the teacher again. So those are the different ways that Spirit is saying. I don't know why the Buddha is connected, but he's the one that's coming through to tell me this.
Well, I can answer that because he told me, yes, I'm a healer and I was more hands-on before, but I am a Buddhist.
Avango, there it is.
Italians know what she's talking about. Okay, so I would just add to that too. Like, I've learned a lot of modalities, right? But I basically just go with what I'm channeling, and I don't do anything 100% as I was taught. I find my own way with the energy as I'm receiving it, and I work with that. So sometimes I think people kind of get a little, I don't know if this is Jeffrey or not, but you kind of get a little hung up on either not liking to do it exactly as you learned it and feeling like you're doing it, you shouldn't do it different because it has to be done exactly how you were taught. Spirit's your guide, right? So Spirit's going to let you know how to implement those different things you learned. And maybe you're just going to mold it into something a little 100%. Different, and that's what, because every one of us is unique and we all have our own way, especially healers, of bringing that energy through. And there's no rules to that. It comes through how it comes through.
No rules. You're absolutely 100% right. Here's something that might help him though, because he worked on people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have him either get a picture of the person if he hasn't met them. If he has met them, he already knows them. But then draw something and put like he could utilize crystals or anything he wants. Set the intention with the picture around, and then work with their energy. It's very simple. Yeah, I'm telling you that there's no difference between in person and distance.
Absolutely.
Some people feel it even more in the distance.
Absolutely.
So his work does not have to stop at all.
This is really interesting hearing you talk, Rita, and then watching what's happening in the live stream because Jeffrey and Nasha are both typing here. And as you're talking,
Ah, I love
literally
it.
listen to what they were typing as you were talking. First, before
Go ahead.
Jeffrey gave extra details, Nasha said, "Oh my God, I'm getting goosebumps." Jeffrey said, "Yes, I'm a healer." Nasha said, "Well, Jeff has done a lot for me. He has healed me." And she's in a different part of the world. Jeff
Mhm.
says, "I was more hands-on. I'm a Buddhist." Nasha says, "Oh my God, he has taught me compassion in the truest sense." And then she says, "Jeff, that's so you." And Jeffrey says, "Thank you. This is helping." So I mean, it's like you were laying it
Oh,
out perfectly.
God, that's awesome. Thank you, Spirit. That's awesome. And thank you, Linda, because that was absolutely perfection the way you said it. Love it. Love
That's
it.
great.
Welcome.
This
Yay.
this is good because what we really went through here was a real-time experience that it isn't just you receiving something. Everybody could see that what you were getting was meshing with what was going on in an area that you couldn't even see. You didn't even know what was going on there, but it was happening at the
Right.
same moment, and everybody else could see it.
Right. You know, I don't know, Walt, if you've ever thought about a radio station, um, but that's something I'm hearing for you.
I have heard thought about that. I even reached out a couple times to try to find something I could connect into without success, but I'm definitely open to doing a radio show.
Okay. No, this would be your radio show.
Oh, my radio station?
Yes, your radio station. So I don't know how you have to. I know nothing about it. I'm just bringing in with the. This message is for you. They said.
Okay.
So because they want to make this more open. Like this is going to just be more and more now. Like the more we continue to work with people, the more we continue to help people,
Right.
it's just going to expand, expand, expand. So, it's like reaching the masses the best way we can.
It meshes exactly with what I've wanted to do for quite some time. It's
Yeah.
part of the reason why I created the app because I figured the app is going to be a nice centralized way to kind of pull everything together. Because right now I don't have the resources to go buy a radio station or something like that. I would love to have that. It's one of the reasons why I'm doing Dan Mangana's money game course. But
Right.
I mean, yeah, that to me is a big part of my dream is to build this out as a network, not just a
Yeah.
single podcast, but as a network of shows. I mean, it would be great if it went out on an actual over-the-air radio station. I would love that. Or even if it went into TV, or if it just stayed online and built into this big online thing. I don't really care which way it goes, but I agree with you. It'd be great to reach that larger audience. It'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
Right. So just ask
so
the universe, how does this get off the, I mean, just really just put the questions out there. Let the answers come. How do I start my own radio network?
Well, I'm
Yeah,
still
because
learning how to listen to the answers. I put the question out. I just don't always get the answer.
You'll
Or if I
get
do,
it.
I don't
you'll
hear
get
it.
it. You're
You'll
get
get
you're,
it.
you're going to get it because if this is coming in, that means you're going to get it. But here's the other piece that they're talking about. They're saying that they would like, this is great. Like we're doing this kind of off the cuff, right? I don't know anybody. I don't know even know what they look like or anything.
Right.
But when I see someone, I get even more information. Whenever I do a
Yeah.
reading, they send me a picture of themselves. That picture tells me so many things. And my reading is really different when I can see somebody. This is actually really good for me. This is boosting my own confidence, believe it or not, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not seeing anybody, I don't know anybody. I'm just listening,
You're going
downloading.
on
That's
minimal
it.
detail. Yeah.
But I am the type of person that likes to, like, I'm looking at you and Linda. I like to see the person. So
Mhm.
I think that's going to happen eventually because they're showing me that.
Oh, cool. I like that. I would like that a lot. I mean, to me, that's part of my visualizations that I do. It's part of this vision video that I put together that many of the listeners know about. Where I literally see myself in front of an audience that's applauding because we're doing all this great stuff in front of a live audience. And I'm thinking, wouldn't it
Right.
be great to do what we're doing in front of a live audience? That would be just,
Yes.
that'd
And
be
I
amazing.
think I honestly, I'm not, I don't even think I'm 100% sure that's going to happen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. I like it.
Yeah. We're going in
Goosebumps.
front of a live audience for sure.
That's going to be fun. It's going to be great too.
You almost set that up once before, remember? Well,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
And I got some venues that we could look at. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I'm smiling. I don't know if you noticed.
Yes, I see you. I can't see anybody else, but I see you and Linda.
By the way, I can also confirm what you were talking about when you said that you like to see photos, because you actually helped me with something off the air, and I sent you a couple of photos. And well, one of the photos, even as I was sending it to you, I knew you were going to say, "Well, this guy is an angry guy," and he is, and you could tell from the photo he's just plain angry. But you picked up on the other guy, and I don't even know the other guy. I've never actually met the other guy. You know,
Yeah. I don't
great
know what
stuff.
that is. I've always, the spirit's always brought me that kind of gift where I just look at a photo and that happens.
Mm,
So, I get, every psychic, every medium is so different.
yeah.
I don't discount anything, because I let it come the way it has to come.
Nasha
So
has one more question, by the way. She says, Rita, does the same go for my future career goal?
what happened?
Whoops, did we lose you?
We lost.
Oh,
Every now and then our video pops up.
well, that's high energy.
Feedback.
That's what happens here on the Friday show. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
So anyway, Rita, Nasha's asking what you were saying about her before needing to do her work. Does the same go for her career future goals or for reaching her biggest dreams?
Yes, this will unleash everything, Nasha. Everything. This work that she's going to do, everything amps up like, 1,000% once that happens. And tell her, could she hear me? I don't even know.
Yeah, she can. She's listening to the live stream.
Okay. Tell her this doesn't have to take long. Don't think she has to do this for years to get it straightened out. Like it can be done in no time. So I don't want her to think, oh, I got to wait for this to now, this to be straightened out. I'm not going to be able to move forward. Absolutely not. Things are moving at the most rapid pace at this point, and people are just commanding the energy, because you don't be afraid to do that, because spirit loves that. Then they know that you are the commander of your own energy. That's what they need from us, right? That doesn't mean we have ego attached to it. It just means you understand, right? So she just has to say, I need to work through this. Let's go, because I got bigger and better things coming.
That's a pretty common thing, isn't it, Linda? Where we aren't really clear when we're interacting with energy, with source energy. We aren't as clear as we need to be.
Yes, because we always think that we have to either give our power away, right? Or we think we can't do it. Spirit has to do it for us. And what they're doing when you ask them is they're assisting you to do it. They're not doing it for you unless you needed an outright miracle. Because I've seen that. I've seen people get outright miracles, right? Because they needed it. But they're assisting you because they're telling you, no, you can do this. You're brilliant. We made you. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you came from us. So that's it.
Yeah. And, I think that this whole experience we're having now in the world with the lockdown and all that other stuff is really to have us just stop putting everything out there and just come in here and see, okay, what's my truth? Like, what do I want? We got to follow our joy. We have to raise our vibration so that we can move forward in life. And, that's why I've been harping on not giving into the fear and just staying with the love, not falling prey to the games that are being played on us. Because like it or not, there's freaking games being played on us in the world. And so we don't have to be influenced by that. When we go inside and find what's true for us and follow the joy that it brings, like that's your leader, your heart. I mean, that's it, right, Rita? Your heart will lead the way. So all that stuff that makes you feel it's not your truth, okay? Just blast through it and decide, no, I'm only following the joy. And let me tell you something, money follows joy. So the more we find our joy, the more that prosperity comes, because that's where abundance grows, through joy. So do everything you can to just find the joy. I mean, I did a video this week because I spent a half an hour with this butterfly, the yellow tiger swallowtail, last week, and it brought me so much joy. And that's the message, really, from the yellow butterfly. So,
well, also that's what your video series, that the video course that you donated to the app, is all about, the high vibe living. I mean, literally the first section of it is directly what you were just talking about right now, and then you followed up with some meditations and it was like an
Hypnosis
energy
tracks
clearing
and stuff.
thing. And
Yeah.
Here's a great way, Spirit saying, here's a great way to answer any question when you're not sure. When you just sit quiet, you close your eyes and you ask, what would love do in this moment? If you're having an issue and you can't decide something, you ask, what would love do? You will get the answer instantaneously.
Yep.
Instantaneously.
Yep. Yep.
and it's a
And
great
90,
reminder too. It's a reminder
99,
about going in.
right. 99% of the time, if it doesn't feel good from the beginning, it's not good.
That's right.
Period. So,
And that much I have been learning pretty well. I've been learning to trust what feels good. It's a nice, easy way to kind of get into learning how to make that connection. It's just, does it feel good?
yes.
Does it not feel good?
Yeah.
If it
Yeah.
feels
And
good, go with it.
okay, and I'm just hearing this. We want to clarify, it's not what is easy. It's what feels right. Because sometimes the thing that feels right maybe is a harder thing to do. So
Sure.
you don't want to just go with what's easy. Like I don't want to, for that, I don't know why that's coming through. Maybe somebody's having that thought going on, or that will be out there, but it's follow what feels right and what is true. Even if it's the harder route, you have to follow that truth. Don't
That's
take
right.
the easy way out. And you know what? The truth is probably going to be the easy way out, but maybe not always. So
I love that point. That's fabulous. Awesome.
I'd add to it that the harder route, so-called, is often the more fun route.
Yeah.
It's much more enjoyable. I mean, we love to talk about stuff that manifests out of thin air and so forth. That's always kind of cool, but it's done. It's all like bang it. Oh, there it is. Okay, end of story. But the story where there's a lot of stuff that you're getting into and you're kind of diving in and you're working, that story just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. It's an ongoing story. It
yeah,
doesn't
as long as you're following the energy, like the
following
energy
the energy. Yes.
that is lighter, that takes you there, then you don't mind. Then it's not work, it's not hard because you're so engaged in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's much more. It can be very satisfying. Yeah, it can be the other kind too, but I guess it depends on which way we decide it's going to be. Are we going to make
Listen.
it easy or are we going to make it hard?
Yeah, but struggle is 3D. We're not going there anymore. It's an old story. We switch tracks. I can't say that enough. Like, do not revisit that stuff. That's the stuff that's coming up for us to release right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Follow the joy. Follow the joy. Follow your heart. Follow what makes you feel lighter, right? Because the truth will always make you feel lighter.
And I've also learned that even on those times where I try to go in and I don't feel like I'm getting anything, I just go with whatever's there anyway. Don't worry about it. Something comes through, even if it doesn't come through me, it comes through in some other way that I didn't expect. It's like, oh, that's connected to what I was thinking about earlier. How did that happen? Well, I went inside. I may not have gotten a direct answer, but I got an indirect answer.
You know, I want to say something before I lose the thought, because that happens to me sometimes. I go, I think Rita might even have said it before. She's had to disconnect from people, or maybe she was telling someone you might have to disconnect from people. So you would think that could be heavy, right? Or it's hard to do. It's not an easy route. But if you can ask and say, will my life be better if this person's no longer in my life? And you see, does it feel lighter? Does it feel more expansive and more open? That's a yes, right? Mm-hmm. But then the hard work maybe is the disconnection.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Guilt connected to it for most people. They feel guilty disconnecting, even though they know it's good for them. So it may not feel expansive at the moment, but it will if it doesn't at the moment. Because you always know the truth.
Yeah.
That's the bottom. Yeah.
And Nasha, by the way, just reported she just heard her bell and no one was around.
Ah, there's spirit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The angel got its wings.
There it is. All right, guys. Well,
wait. I want to share one more little.
Oh, got one more thing. Okay.
Because Rita said their spirit. Well, I told you I was making that video, right, about with the butterfly.
Right.
But I had to take the audio off because there's too much traffic noise where I was filming, mm-hmm. and I had to redo what I wanted to say about this butterfly. Right as I start to record this, and I have a wall of windows here in my office, the very same type of butterfly, if not the same butterfly, went past my windows, all 5 of them, under the eaves, like right up against the window. This butterfly flew all the way across. So I was like, holy shit. Okay, I guess I got to make this video. Thank you, Spirit. You know, it'll come through. It'll come through in many different ways, and just have fun with that. Because what did that do? It put me more in that feeling of joy.
Right.
And it led you to send us a text saying, I'm really high vibe today.
Yep.
Very cool. All right, guys. Once again, a beautiful show. Lots of great answers there, Rita and Linda, too. So thank you guys very much. Thank you, live streamers, for livening it up with your conversational points and your questions, because they were also great, too. And thank you also to those who sent in your questions. Just a reminder, the easy way to send in those questions is, if you don't already have it, get the LOA Today app and use the little contact form in there for asking a question. You can now specify who's the question go to, and it goes right to that person. So take advantage. Have a great weekend. Hope you guys are going to have something fun that you're going to be doing this weekend. I'm planning to go to the beach. I don't know what you guys are doing, and thank you also to podcast listeners. I hope you're going to do something fun, like listening to the podcast while you're at the beach or whatever else you're doing. But whatever you do, thank you so much. We'll be talking to you again on Monday. We'll see you all next time here on LOA Today. Goodbye, everybody.